G'day. After 4.5 years on the road, 2 caravans, 2 cars, 2 continents, I reckon I've learned a real lot. So check out some of these ideas and hopefully your trip will be very smooth as well. So let's go. If you're going to travel, good idea to, I mean, Google Maps is great, but it only kind of gives you just a little area of where you want to go. You can expand it. You don't, I don't know, maybe it's old school, but once you open up a book or a map or a real paper map, you can, oh wow, that's where I've got to go. Well, actually, I don't think I'll go there. I'll go somewhere else. So that's why I've got the book. And the other thing is, I've also got it for a cheat sheet because memory's fading, and I thought if I can cover everything in all in the one go, that'd be handy. Now these 10 ideas I'm going to share with you are not in any particular order, so just let's be aware of that. And here's the first one. So when I took off, I got this really fantastic chair. It's nothing like this. It was big and comfy. I think it even had like a little flick switch. You could lay back on it, put your feet up, and it was really, really luxurious. I thought, I want to do it in style. And it didn't take me very long, and I realized just how uncomfortable it was to move. Like, it was really heavy, made of solid steel. It was a pain in the butt to try and get in the car or in the caravan. It never fitted anywhere because it was so big and heavy, and it really wasn't that, might have been luxurious, but it wasn't that comfortable. So after a period of time, I actually gave that away, gave it to a thrift store, and got myself this. Now, it's not particularly sexy, but it's very, very functional. The thing I absolutely love about it is it's made of aluminium, which means it's really light. So when you go to grab your chair, it's never a drama to grab it out the car or the caravan and lift it and carry it right down the beach or just down to the river. So that's what I'd be aiming for. Get yourself a real light, functional chair. Now, if you're not going to go down that path and just get your basic ones like this, they sort of start from about $200 up to almost $300, which I think is just absolutely out of control. I don't think they're very good value. With those, I would have thought that you'd have back support, lower lumbar support, and that's the thing that I think almost every chair I've ever sat on just doesn't have. They try to, they get all little wrap things to make it, but I just don't think it works. I started off with just normal water containers, which I thought they're all the same. Turns out I don't think they are. Now the ones I bought 2 20-litre containers, and the thing I love about them is they've got a really wide throat. The importance of that is I also have sorted out and set up my own little submersible pump. So that's really handy, because what I can do in an absolute push is I can fill up those 2 containers, bring it back to the caravan, and then pump it into the water tank. So that to me was really handy. Now with the 2 water containers, I have one on the back of the caravan, and I have one inside the just near the back seat of the ute. Now with the one in the back seat, I only fill it to about 3/4 full, just in case I'm going over rough roads. It's almost impossible to have that water not spill out, so I don't want to fill it right up, just fill it up 3/4 of water. And the other thing about water is you can buy the little, I think they're 375ml or maybe even 500ml. They're what I call them throwaway bottles. I'm really against that. That's just a personal thing. I just don't like that, getting a little bottle of water, drink it, use it for the kettle or whatever, and throw it away. Not a bad idea to have as an emergency, so maybe get yourself a 12-pack, or if you're going on a long trip between towns, get yourself a 24-pack and try not to use it. Keep it as an emergency. Oh, by the way, those other 2 water containers I talked about, they're basically what I consider an emergency. So I'll fill up the caravan with water, and then I'll try and manage that, and then those 2 water containers I'll use as I say, an emergency. Another alternative to that is you can buy what they call a water bladder, and they're about 120 litres to 180 litres. Keep in mind, travelling, everything is about weight, so you want to keep the weight down to a minimum. So if you've got a 180 litre water tank, which you put on the back floor, then that's okay. But if it's full, that's an extra 180 kilograms on your trip. So I know there's ways of working around that, but I never got into the water thing. And the other thing is, I have heard a bit of a rumour, I don't know whether it's true, but water sitting in those water bladders can taste a little bit funny. So I'm a bit fussy, I don't want that. A bed topper. Now they're the things, they're basically like a, I don't know how you describe it, but basically you put them on the bed and it's all kind of fluffy and it just makes lying on the bed a whole lot more comfortable. Now get yourself a decent one, don't go to the dollar store and get one for 30 bucks or something. You'll probably find a topper is going to cost you around about anything from $180 up to almost $400. So the way I would do that is I would go to maybe someone like Spotlight or one of the pretty good department stores that specialise in bedding and wait till they get it on sale. And don't forget, on the entire trip around Australia, or even if you go full time, you'll be sleeping almost half of it. So make yourself comfy. But it's not a bad idea to get a couple of European pillows. There's been plenty of times I've sat up in bed and done some editing and if I'm trying to read a book, pillows tend to kind of, disintegrate behind you like that. But if you get yourself a couple of nice firm European pillows, that gives you quite a lot of support, and so that can help you. Solar panels. Now I know I've gone on about solar panels in the past and I'm probably going to do it again. Get as many solar panels on the roof as you can possibly afford. That's going to make a massive difference on your trip. In my little caravan, I put a couple of solar panels on it, and to be honest, it just didn't cut it, because by the time my sort of power and electricity and all that sort of stuff in the caravan was used up by my powerful laptop, it would go flat quite a lot, so that was kind of stressful. Not a bad idea to get either a solar blanket or a couple of panels and plug that into your system. Make certain if you're going to do that you get an MPPT controller, not the other one, they're called SWR or something. MPPT makes a huge difference and you'll get your most value out of those. They're a bit more expensive, but it's worth it. So yeah, get as many solar panels on the roof and maybe get a portable one. Now the great thing about the portable one is there's sometimes you just want, like, it's so hot, you just want to find some shade, get the car and the caravan underneath it. You do that, then you lose out on solar. But if you've got your portable, then you can put your portable solar panels way over there and still run your long cable to charge up your batteries. That's why it's a good idea. So that pretty much covers solar panels. Batteries. Now you can go away on your trip and stick with the AGM or your different sort of non-lithium type batteries. You don't necessarily need to go the expense of buying new ones, but whatever you've got, make certain they're functional and they're not, they're not old and they're not going flat all the time. So get good quality, say AGMs if you've already got it, but if you're actually going to pay the money, I would recommend lithium. Now lithium tend to charge up quickly, they last longer before they go flat, and all up, and they're lighter, so all up they're a pretty good value, but they are expensive. Now if you can afford it, I reckon the ideal situation would be two 200 amp hour batteries. My favourite would be Enerdrive, or you could go Victron, or you could wait for Aldi's sale once a year, I think it's around about March. They sell cheap lithium batteries. Now if you're going to get your basic lithiums, get say two 120 amp hour batteries. But again, the dream machine for me would be two 200 amp hour batteries, or if you thought, I really want a lot of luxury on the trip, then I'd get three 200 amp hour batteries. That way you can be out in the middle of the bush, run your air conditioner for a couple of hours, you can run your coffee percolator and all your little toys and your air fryer and all that sort of stuff without absolutely killing it. It's a long trip, get a hobby. I know what you're going to say, oh look, the trip itself will be a hobby and all that sort of stuff. You find there are times when you're going to go stir crazy. Now, okay, for me I was travelling by myself and it took me ages to realise how on earth I was going to while away those hours. Eventually someone pointed out to me, or I learned somehow, that I could listen to audio books. Now that was great. So there was the company Audible, very expensive way to do it, or if you get a library card, or even if you haven't got one, to go and get one, or if you've got one, just look up the number that they allocate to you for your account. And with that number, you download the Libby or Borrow Box. Depending on the library will depend on the app that you're going to use. Once you've got the app and you quote your account number, you can start the downloads. Now, I downloaded Lee Child. He specialises and in fact writes the books about Litre. Love those books. And I've got to say that saved my sanity driving from Northern Territory to Broome. It's about 1,200 kilometres. Not a lot between each town, so that really saved me. The next one is all about organisation. Something I wasn't particularly great at right at the beginning, but you kind of force yourself to get it organised. So here's a couple of things that I didn't do, but I've eventually, now I've got a system. So first of all, write out a list of everything you do when you arrive at camp. So you arrive at camp, park up the caravan, then you undo the all the various electrical connections from the car to the caravan. You take off the chains, then you chock the wheels in the caravan, and then you jack up the caravan, and all those sorts of things. There is a routine. Write it down, put it in the proper order, and it'll make a massive difference. So and you have that maybe sitting inside the car in the glove box or back in the caravan, but you have a routine and you do it every time that you arrive. Otherwise, what can tend to happen, and it's happened to me, I'll do some of those in the wrong order, or I'll get get waylaid or something, and something will happen, and then suddenly I've only done half of it. For instance, putting on 2 chocks of the caravan, and then when I start jacking it up and I've released everything, the caravan starts to roll. That's not a nice feeling, believe me. So yeah, do that. Another one is don't jack up the caravan until so jack up the caravan, but make certain the chains are on there just in case the caravan moves. All those little things are important. Now, apart from writing down that list, also do an exact measurement of your exact height of the car, the tow vehicle, and of the caravan. Don't roughly do it and overestimate it. Once you've got that, write it on a piece of paper and have it sticky taped somewhere where you can see it almost at all times. It's easy to find because there's a lot of bridges you go under, low bridge and it says such and such, or you might be in town and going into a supermarket car park, it says 1.9, this is the car only. I think I'll do it. You've probably already done this and bought yourself the car and the caravan, or own the car and now got the caravan, but don't be concerned about thinking, oh, I really want to spend $250,000, I want a really top of the line car and I really want a top of the best you can get in caravans. My experience, you really don't need it. My initial caravan did not have an air conditioner, and I thought, oh yeah, I can tough it out. So I went all the way up to Queensland and went through all there, and then got across into Perth, and I thought, you know what, I really cannot stand this. So I thought, oh, what I'll do is I'll just get an air conditioner put on top of the on top of my little caravan. Now that was just a nightmare. Hardly anybody could do it. It was going to be extortionately expensive. I used to have a pop top, so the extra weight of it means I'd have to have a special things put inside the roof so I could actually lift it. So I ended up selling that caravan and getting a caravan with air conditioning. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is, don't be too concerned about, oh, I've got to get an off-road. When I was shopping around, I always said it's got to be off-road or I'm not going to even look at it. And in hindsight, I reckon a semi-off-road's probably going to be more than enough for 90% of everybody that travels around Australia. Semi-off-road, more than capable of doing lots and lots of, you know, what I would call, you know, fairly rough roads and divots and all that sort of stuff. You just got to take your time, just take it easy. Money, budget and expenses. You really need to have a budget. I don't want to be sort of sound old-fashioned, oh yeah, we'll wing it, you know, we're going away with, I don't know, $60,000 or whatever in the kitty. I think we'll be fine. If you have your budget, then you know where you're at probably almost all the time. A few videos back, I actually did a video all about having a budget, setting it. Now once you set your budget, you can change it. Once you set it, then you're probably going to have it in a spreadsheet. So save that as current budget, and then you can go into your bank statement, put everything in. It'll all be under either fuel or accommodation or tours and all that sort of stuff. And then you can look at it and say, wow, we spend so much money on alcohol, maybe we should stop like we used to, you know, when you're on the pay, when you're working with the pay coming in. Quite often typical family would go out maybe for dinner twice a week, get a case or 2 cases of beer, get half a dozen bottles of wine, and now you can't really, unless money is no object, you can't really live that lifestyle when you're travelling full-time or going around Australia, because you will be spending money like water, and your actual spend will go up from probably $1,000 a week to $12, $15, maybe even $18 to $100 a week, and that's, you know, that's a lot. Who would have thought? Certainly not me. I bought this brand new. It was all nice and shiny. It still is quite good, solid stainless steel, and it's within compliance. Got to be a certain height. These things, these portables, got to be a certain height in the national parks. So travelling all around Australia, almost all national parks and low budget campsites and even caravan parks, a lot of them have got a setup for you, so you don't need to carry it with you. So maybe not spend the money on that and spend it on something else. Hear me out. Now, I started off with my little caravan. I had a little 1kV Yamaha, really good, quite light, extremely economical, and did lots and lots of goodies for me. However, once I got into the big caravan, I wanted to be able to enjoy the air conditioner that I'd fought so hard to get. So then I went from a 1kV to a 2kV, and with the 2kV generator, I'd recommend either Yamaha or Honda. They're the two best, and it's worth paying it because they're quieter, they're more reliable, they're relatively easy to fix, and they're just a jolly good generator. Now, why do you need it? Well, so we'll just talk about the 1kV, the little one, which I think most people would enjoy having. Just means that, you know, where you can pull over the side of the road, you don't have to look, oh well, the batteries are running down really low. Just use it to top it up, no problems. Or if you say, oh, I wouldn't mind running blah blah blah, you can just plug straight into that. And the last one, the little 1kV, if you get a flat battery, you just charge up your battery, and your battery will charge quickly on a 1kV, start up the car, and you're off. 2kV, you can run things like your air conditioner, whew, thank heavens for that. You can run your microwave, your air fryer, not all at the same time, and your coffee machine. So, you know, I really enjoyed having the generator, and I personally would never do that trip again without it. Okay, that's it. Here's a couple of bonus tips. So one is, now it's probably me, or maybe it's a guy thing, but don't just flush everything down the sink. You know, the oil and just squeezing the peas and put it down there, because if it blocks up, which it definitely does, number one, the smell is pretty atrocious, and it's very hard to clean out because the pipe itself is only that long that goes down the drainage all the way out. Plus, if you get a small crack in the drainage and you don't know, and you're trying to stuff all that stuff down, again, it can get clogged up. So don't, if you're going to be pouring stuff down the sink, don't. Now, another one would be keep receipts. I think I've mentioned this on some of my videos before. I ended up buying a starter battery for the car, and then when it played up, I went to change it over, and they said, well, you've got no receipt, you know, there's no proof, so we can't help. So that's not just the only thing you might buy, but you might buy things that you think, oh, that's got like a 3-year warranty. The warranty is worth nothing unless you have a proof of purchase. So with the receipt, take a photo of it. If you're really organised, you could save that photo on your phone under receipts or warranties, or otherwise, at least if you save it, then most modern phones these days you can search for receipts. So make certain you take a photo of the receipt of when you buy something. Well, there you have it. Another video wraps up. Now, even I was surprised about the campfire. When I first bought it, I loved it. It was all stainless steel, all polished and all great. Very heavy unit, that's one of those sort of things. But as I travelled around Australia, I realised that most campsites have already got a spot where someone else has either set up or that the campsite or the national parks provide. So that's definitely one to watch out for. Now, if you found the video helpful, useful and or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do at some stage. And if you think the video is worth sharing, that too would be great. So until next time, this is Paul Wheel Drive, signing off.